Hello my fellow super swell viewers, it's me Pickles. And today we're narrating a story called Asagi's Mom, which is a parody of Chucky's mom. Remember Shadow Pro? That show on YouTube. What you probably don't know is that the creator of the show, Rebel Shadow Studios, originally planned a 3-in version of Shadow Pro called Shadow Pro 3-in Edition, to be played at the early hours of the morning, with more swell but sense humor. Because every major channel thought the pilot was too horny and gay for television, they refused to air the show, and as a result no one has really heard about it. However, one station in Tokyo, Japan mistakenly played it in the morning, thinking it was a regular hentai. The pilot and only episode of the show that was seen was called Asagi's Mom. The intro played like normal, but at the end when John Wick shoots the gun at the screen, like swah 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 swah, the sound effect is much louder, and the bullet mark simply stays there for about 6 to 9 seconds, then the name of the episode appears. The episode played out like normal, with the crew playing video games in their house. They are all talking about their moms, when Asagi has a flashback. It had Asagi in hospital standing next to her mother in bed with werewolves around them. Asagi's mom was dying from an unknown illness given by Betty DeVille. She said to Asagi, "If you don't believe in the swell gods, you're going to puke hell. You're going to be rammed in the ass by 16 femboys. You're going to be fisted in the ass every day by Steve Harvey," in a very weak voice, as if she was about to die. When she sang Ram Ranch in a weak voice, the werewolf starts shoving objects up their asses like dildos such as a remote, a PlayStation 3 and a keyboard. A shot of Asagi appeared in front of a live-action footage of Shadow Reader screaming and ranting about hentai, and ends with him yelling, "Fuck hentai," said to represent death by femmes. Asagi turns around and screams, and when she looks back at her mother her face looks like an anthropomorphic version of a Boro from Tamain, and Asagi saying, "Don't worry Asagi, it's time for me to move on," in Dr. Phil's voice. A flurry of random live-action clips were shown, said to represent swellness, like in Tan walking into your house with mansion crudely drawn on the side, and it shows Pastor Martin Semper ranting about bondage game, footage of pedophiles and lolicans getting ambushed by the anti-lolican bunch like in the Call of Duty mission Remember No, Russian. Other clips were shown, such as actual footage of Incubus banging someone was shown. The last clip shows 4 porn stars getting run over by the GTA 5 SWAT team. The GTA 5 SWAT team then crashes into Barney's fat fucking ass and they die in an explosion. Damn, that was so gay. We can hear Asagi screaming the entire time. A shot of Asagi's mom appears again, this time with an orc's mouth crudely pasted into her face, saying, "Don't you remember where it all started?" The episode then cuts to footage of anime girls moaning. Then 3 videos sped up pop up. By a few frames it is described as the following. The Barney bunch having gay sex in a gas station, Sam and Max brutally killing the Rapalade protagonist, and Ned Flanders fisting the orcs. After 1 minute of these moaning sounds, you hear Asagi's mom say, "Aren't you a lucky ducky, Asagi?" At this time, you see Asagi come out of the flashback, having a seizure. John Wick, Doomslayer, and the Punisher are worried, and Nick Dolan, as an ambulance worker, calms Asagi down, saying, "Asagi? Asagi? Can you hear me?" in a stern voice. Eventually, after coughing up blood and vomiting, Asagi comes to her senses. We then see a point of view shot of Asagi, seeing John Wick, Doomslayer, the Punisher and Nick Dolan the ambulance worker, as having live-action orc mouths on their faces, growling away. A photo of someone that looks just like Asagi screaming appears, and the camera zooms into it. After this, the stream ended, followed by 15 minutes of Chaz Finster getting fisted at a boxing match. As the station had nothing else but the AOE of Chris Chan dropping the soap and getting Emily rammed by the health inspector. Surprisingly, Although the episode was watched by many teenagers, only one adult who was watching, me, has spoken about it until now. I wasn't surprised to find out that teenagers owning illegal guns went higher in Japan that year. Bag that was swell in the bum bum.